Hello everyone, welcome back to another great episode of Raihana's Cuisines. Today I have had so many requests to do Karachi Halwa, Bombay Halwa, which is known as Malindi Halwa, which is known as Waranganu Halwa. It's made from tapioca starch, it's gluten-free, and it's absolutely delicious. I have this video that I've done in the microwave, but today we're going to be doing two different ones, one with brown sugar, one with regular sugar, one with food coloring, one without food coloring, same ingredients, just the sugars are different, and they both came out the same time. And so if you want to learn how to do this, let's go ahead and discuss all the ingredients. But before you do that, if you're new to my channel, I'm so happy that you're here. I hope you enjoy all my other videos. If you like my video, give me a thumbs up. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe and hit the bell so that you get a notification every time a new video is uploaded. Let's get started. So we're gonna do two kinds here. We're gonna do one that is with brown sugar and one that's with regular sugar. We're just gonna try it. We'll see what our what the results reveal. Now here, in each of the bowl, I have 1 1/4 cup of tapioca starch. This is how I buy my tapioca starch. It just comes in a packet like this, and it says tapioca starch right on top. Now, I'm sure I'm gonna get questions like, can we use cassava flour, another type of starch? I'm sure you can, but I honestly have not tried it myself, so I don't know what to tell you as far as the results will be. So 1 1/4 cup of tapioca starch in each bowl. To the brown sugar one, we're gonna add 1 cup of brown sugar. To the regular one, we're gonna add 1 cup of regular sugar. Now, we're gonna give this a taste test halfway through to see if we feel that this is not sweet enough, we can always add a little bit more on top. Each of them is going to have a net weight unsalted butter of 4 ounces, which is 113 grams or 8 tablespoons. Now, I highly recommend using unsalted butter because that way you'll be able to control the salt. Anytime you make mithais, I highly recommend using unsalted butter. And then for the one that has sugar in it, we are going to add a couple drops of yellow and a couple drops of red food coloring. I did forget my cardamom powder. We're going to be adding about 1/4 teaspoon of cardamom powder to each. We're also going to be doing about 1 teaspoon of fresh lemon in each. And then we're also going to be doing about 1/2 cup to 3/4 cup of slivered almonds in each of them when we probably halfway through the cooking, and then we'll use some more for the garnish. Each of them is also going to contain 2 cups of very cold water. When you don't have cold water, what's going to happen is it's going to start clumping. So that's why we are going to put cold water in here. So I'm going to go ahead and melt my butters, and then I'm going to meet you back here. All right, so I'm going to add my 2 cups of water in the brown sugar one. Just want to make sure. Perfect. And then I'm going to add the 2 cups here as well. All right. Next, it's all going to be just the same thing we're going to do with each of them. But see how it's starting to settle on the bottom, and that's why you want to use the cold water. You just want to make sure you mix everything really well. This is going to be really important. Once you get everything off of the bottom and everything is really nicely mixed, is now we're going to add our melted butter in here. Brown sugar goes in. The cardamom powder goes in. And this really depends on how much you like in there. And then I'm gonna go ahead and add my lemon juice in there. And I like using fresh lemon juice, but it's really up to you. right? Next, we're gonna do the same thing for the other one. You wanna use a heavy bottom pan to cook this, otherwise it's gonna burn. I'm also, while this is cooking, I'm also going to be talking about my experience and trying it in an Instapot and what happened with that. So let's get this one mixed real quick, add everything else in there. So I've got my pan on. You want to make sure before you put it in the pan that it's mixed really well. If you don't mix really well, this is the most important step. You're gonna get lumps in your halwa. So this is a great recipe because it's also gluten-free. So, all right. So you just want to keep this on medium-low, and then you'll start seeing the magic happen as soon as the mixture gets a little warm. Now you don't want to walk away from this. I'm doing both at the same time, so I will be able to monitor them both at the same time. But if you were making this either one or both, you just want to make sure you don't walk away from them. Also, you want to make sure that your flame is not really high. It's probably medium-low, just so that you can maintain cooking both of them at the same time. Right? Again, we're gonna make sure that the bottom has no bits of that starch. Okay, and then we're just gonna put it in here. And you can see that I've already added my color in here as well. So the food coloring is really optional, but the fun thing is too that it can be accustomed to whatever. So if you're making it for a certain party, you can add whatever color you like in there. So while this is getting cooked, I'm quickly just going to go ahead and talk about my experience in making this in the Instapot. Now I wanted to try it because my mom always told me that back home when they didn't have much time, they would just put this in the pressure cooker and it would work. So I thought, well, it might work. Well, it worked, but because the Instapot is made of stainless steel, it sticks on the bottom. And so that's the one thing. Otherwise, it does cook very, very quickly in the Instapot. The other thing, that issue that it gave me was also that it kept on showing me the burn signal because, and then I ended up putting another half a cup of water in there, which again, in the end, took a longer time to cook because of the fact that, you know, now I had a lot of liquid in there. And so, I wish there was another way. If anybody else has figured it out, let me know. But I think if the Instapot was made of aluminum, it would work. But I think because it's stainless steel, that's the reason it sticks on the bottom. And this is starch, so that is why. So what I'm going to do is I am going to keep on cooking these. I will monitor the time and I will let you know how long it took to get to the half point of where the halwa gets done, and then we'll figure out, you know, exactly how long it took for us to make this on the stovetop. Now I have the recipe of this made in the microwave. It does not take long at all, and if you want to look at that recipe, I will put it up on the right hand side of your screen so that you can see it. The only thing with that recipe, with that video, is that it's a very old video. It's one of my first videos I came up with. So if you don't mind it and if you want to watch it, go ahead, click on that card and it'll take you right to making it in the microwave. And it turns out amazing. So let me go ahead and cook this and then I'll let you know how long it took. All right, so this is 5 minutes after we've been cooking it. I honestly thought it was gonna take half an hour. From what I've heard everybody say that, oh, it takes so long on the stove. No, it doesn't. It does not take long at all. Now, if you can see in my time lapse, what happened was my gas ran out. And so I had to change the gas, and that's why this one's taking a little longer. But this one here is totally done. It's cooked, it's beautiful. I think it's even better than the microwave one. For some reason, I honestly was a little afraid to do it on the stovetop because I just wasn't sure what I was expecting. I was honestly thinking it was gonna take so long, but I'm so happy with the results. So what I wanna do right now is I just did add a little bit of the almonds in there, but I also want to do a taste test at this time. And I know it's gonna be super hot, but I really have to see if we've got enough sugar in there, okay? So what I'm gonna do at this point is get some out here. Okay, so I tried this and I can still add just a little bit more sugar in here. Yeah, just a little bit. Maybe I would say just less than 1/4 of a cup in this one. So I'm gonna lower this one. As far as the texture, you just want it to set just a little bit more. It shouldn't be very gooey like slime. It should be just a little thicker, okay? So this here is on low, and I'm super excited with this halwa. I honestly thought it was gonna take forever. So now let's see how this happens. You can see that it has started thickening. You see that? And the color doesn't look very appetizing, but if you want, you can also use very super dark brown sugar. I use whatever I had on hand at home, but this is for somebody who really doesn't want to use any food coloring and they want to try it with the brown sugar. I just wanted to give it a try. So we're gonna cook this. You see how this does not look good at all, but seriously, once it gets to a really good, when it just cooks with the butter, this is how it's gonna come out, really nice and really shiny. Now, could you get away with adding even a little bit less of butter in there? Yes, you could. Like I said, I haven't tried it on the stovetop, and in the microwave, I feel like I needed the 8 tablespoons. But in this one, you could probably get away with maybe 6 tablespoons. But that's, totally up to you. At this time, what I want to do is I want to go grab my sugar and add just a little bit of sugar in that one, and I want you to see what happens to that one when I add the sugar. But I also want to do a taste test. If I need the brown sugar, I'm going to grab them at the same time. So I'm just going to do a taste test just to make sure the sugar on this is okay. This one 100% needs more sugar, 100%. So let me go grab my sugars. We're gonna add it in there and I'm gonna show you what it's gonna look like. Oh, let me go ahead and add my almonds in here. And I also feel like I need to add just a little bit more cardamom powder. I don't know. You always want to do a taste test and adjust your cardamom powder. I think sweets, we're used to having halwas and mithais with a good amount of cardamom powder in there. So it really depends how much you want to put in there. But look, it didn't even require so much stirring. Like my mom had said that they used to make it and they stirred for so long. But look, you can see that I really have not been using my muscle at all. So I'm gonna put this a little bit lower because I'm gonna go grab my brown sugar and then I'll see you back here. So this is about 1/4 of a cup of sugar. I'm just gonna add in here. Now, also, the reason why I tell you to do taste tests, because honestly, sometimes it depends on your sugar. Some sugar is just not sweet enough. Other sugar is super sweet. It just sometimes depends even like where you buy it from or the type of sugar you buy. But by adding that little bit of sugar, did you see that the color got really darker and the consistency changed completely? So adding a little bit of sugar afterwards on top really, I think, makes the halwa even much better. So you also want to keep on checking the consistency, all right? You're gonna know when it's a little bit more firmer, and then you're gonna know when it's completely loose. Let's get back to this one here and then go ahead and add. Now, if we added about 1/4 of a cup in that one, this one really needed a lot more sugar. So I'm gonna do 1/2 a cup. And the first measurement that I did pack the sugar in. This time I'm not gonna pack it in too much, but I'm just gonna add about 1/2 a cup in there. I don't know what it is about adding the sugar a little bit in the end. For some reason, it does something to the consistency and the color as well. So if you do this process, just remember, keep a little bit of sugar on the side and add a little bit in the end. I don't know what it does to it, but honestly, I don't know, but I feel like there's a change in the color and the consistency. So I'm gonna cook this for a little bit longer, and then I'm gonna put it in my serving dish, but I also want to make sure that I get all the information out there. So I wanna see if I'll be able to tell the consistency when you're supposed to be taking it off the stove. So let's see, let's put some in here and see. It's just slipping on me. Let me go get a spoon. Okay, let's take a look. Just even by having it on the spoon, I can tell that it needs a little bit more cooking. Okay, let's take a look. All right, so when I'm feeling it, it feels like it's almost there. I would say it's maybe another 5 minutes. It's there. It's almost there. It's almost there. And see how I'll be able to take it off without it sticking on. That means that it's almost there. I would probably give it another, it shouldn't really stick to the spoon too much. So that's why it's not sticking too much. That's why I would give it another 2-3 minutes. Let's look at this one. Now, I'm sure I'm gonna have questions like, can you make this diabetic free? No, you can't make it diabetic free. Even if you use the erythritol or any other substitute sugar, you're putting a lot of starch in this. Starch just is a very high carb. So no, you cannot, this dish is not, we can't get around to this one. So let's go ahead and I'm gonna see how the consistency of this one is. This one feels a lot more looser. Like, I don't know if you can tell, but it's a lot more looser. So see how it's much more sticking? See, it's all stuck on the spoon. So this one will probably take another, I would say 6 minutes. And I did forget, you want to put in just a pinch of salt. I'm using pink Himalayan salt. You can use any salt you like, but just by adding that salt in the sweet dishes, you're gonna enhance the flavor even more. So I want you to take a close look here. This is when you know that your halwa is completely ready. You see how it has just come together and the color got darker as it cooked. This cooked for another, I would say, not stirring vigorously, but just on the stove, stirring here and there for another about 8 minutes, and this is what it looks like. This is perfect, perfect, perfect consistency. Let's get this in the serving dishes now. All right, everyone, take a look at this. Honestly, I am a little bit shocked at how this turned out so well on the stove, and it did not require as much time as I was thinking it was gonna take. So it looks beautiful. It's come together really well. I'm really happy with the brown sugar one as well. I think in Malindi they have the brown sugar one. So at this time now, it's all about how you want to garnish it. So what I usually do is I just add more of my slivered almonds on top, just like that. All right. Then I do a little bit of my crushed almonds, just so that you get different textures. And to finish it off, obviously I have to use my sliver pistachios. Just gonna add some color and some crunch to it. All right, and there you have it. We are completely done. I did do a taste test. You saw me doing the taste test when I was making it, and I can't have too much of it. But see, when I take it off, it's coming off really, really well. It's not sticking to my spoon. So depending on your brown sugar, you'll have to adjust the sugar, and not even the brown sugar. You'll also have to adjust the white sugar as well. So again, this is not sticky. It's coming off really well. And as it cools, it's gonna get even better. And these are amazing. These are totally so delicious. So thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Raihana's Cuisines. Hope you can join me here next time with another great video. See you then, friends.